Jay, from you having watched this over some period of time, and I know you don't want to name any individual companies, so I won't name any individual companies. But is it across the board with Chinese publicly traded companies, or is it more a problem with some of the smaller or maybe up and coming ones, as opposed to some of the really big mega cap companies that we all know the names of that have been publicly traded for a while?
Well, David, you bring up a good question. A point that applies in every market. Financial controls, audit procedures, and the like, they're different for larger companies than they are for smaller companies. And there are a lot of smaller companies that have operations in China that are listed on our markets. And investors might look at those differently from the multi-caps or from state-owned enterprises. And I'm not an expert on international investing, but I do know enough to know that you shouldn't look at a particular jurisdiction in a monolithic way. You should look at that as to whether you're looking at a smaller company, an international company that derives a lot of its revenues from outside of that jurisdiction, or a state-owned enterprises, which has its own risks and reward profiles.
Jay, do you talk with your counterparts who are security regulators in Beijing, in China? I mean, there have been times when the Chinese government has said, we really want to try to coordinate, we want to harmonize, we want to open up our markets, our securities markets. Is there any prospect of actually some of that harmonization coming about?
Look, we do talk. I talk to my counterparts around the world. There's nothing that I have said to you that I haven't said to them, and that this is a problem that I believe needs to be addressed. And I hope it can be.
Are you hopeful? Do you think it will be?
Look, I'm an optimistic guy, but I'm optimistic because I know that at some point, hope is not a strategy. You got to do other things as well.
So you said the legislation that's pending, that's been passed in the Senate, is I think you said sensible way of approaching it. Is it doable? Is it something that, as you look at it, the SEC could enforce without too much difficulty?
Oh yes. No, it's a sensible piece of legislation, and it captures the issue in a way. Look, I try very hard not to tell Congress what to do. It's the other way around. They tell me what to do. But this is a very sensible way to approach a problem.